You know, it really hurts me when I see people go to buy store-bought cornbread. Because to me, I'm like, bro, you could have just made it yourself and had something 10 times better in less than the amount of time it took for you to go to the
frickin' store.
But that's none of my business. Unless... cornbread, it's either gonna be at a good restaurant that knows what they're doing, or I'm gonna make it. The reality of making cornbread is like mixing batter and putting it in the oven, and that's really it. You can make it complicated if you want to. People love making stuff complicated. When I do these videos and what I do here, I'm not trying to convince anybody to do anything. Just watch this, enjoy this, have a grand old time, and you might just realize, hey, I could make this cornbread. You might not. As long as you give me your love, hugs, and kisses, then we're good. Anyway, with that said, let's make this, shall we? Oh hey, this video is sponsored by our friends at Squarespace, which means yes, the website is finally coming. We'll talk about it in the end.
Okay, so first thing, you want to start with a cast iron pan. Then just take that pan and place it into a cold oven, by cold I mean off, and start preheating at 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 200 degrees Celsius. Yeah, and don't forget to clean it off too because it's dirty. Then take a small pot and add half a cup or 113 grams of unsalted butter. Place your pan on the stove and melt the butter over medium heat. And once the butter's totally melted, right, you could take it off and use it now, but we're gonna take it a step further and we're gonna brown the butter. This is a huge flavor addition. Just continue to cook it, stirring occasionally until it begins to turn a brown color like this. You want it pretty dark brown, not black, not light brown, dark brown. Now once it reaches that point, turn the heat off and add half a bunch of fresh sage and half a bunch of fresh thyme. Stir it around, place it in a container and set it to the side to cool down just a little. This is gonna add some nutty sort of toffee flavor notes. It's really nice. Then in a medium-sized bowl, combine 1 1/4 cup or 185 grams of all-purpose flour, 1/3 cup or 70 grams of granulated sugar, 3½ tablespoons or 50 grams of light brown sugar, and 1 1/4 teaspoon or 6 grams of fine sea salt. Oh, and also a tablespoon and 13 grams of baking powder. And last, you're gonna add 1 1/4 cup or 175 grams of yellow cornmeal. Now, not just any yellow cornmeal, all right? I've tested this with a bunch of different kinds. The coarse sucks, okay? I don't like it. A finer grind is gonna be much better, something along the texture that you're seeing here. Also, fun fact, the best ratio for cornbread is always gonna be equal parts flour to cornmeal, just so you know. Anyway, whisk all that together until thoroughly combined. In a separate bowl, combine 2 whole eggs, whisk them together, then whisk in 1½ cups or 350 milliliters of buttermilk. Pull the herbs out of your slightly cooled brown butter and then slowly whisk it into your milk mixture. Buttermilk, I mean. You know what I mean. Then just whisk the wet mixture into the dry mixture until it's completely and totally smooth and homogenized, looking sexy like this. Pull your happen out of the oven, lightly grease it with spray oil, add your batter to the pan, spread it out wall to wall, smooth up that top a little bit, and then pop that bad boy back into the oven for 20 to 25 minutes, or until toothpick inserted comes out clean. Then just pull that out, let it cool slightly for a few minutes, pop it out of that pan, place it on a cooling rack, and let it cool the rest of the way. Just slice this like a pie, into little triangles. Now, of course, you can serve it with the traditional honey butter. Nothing wrong with that. But it's quite a bit of cornbread, and you might just have some leftovers. So what do you do with it, right? Well, for one, it is excellent. Just toasted in butter, all right? I know that, this is kind of a given, but I'm a big fan of taking any sort of loaf that you have, slicing it, putting some butter in a pan, and toasting it until sensuous and delicious.
Let's just make a quick point here before we even get started. All right, cool. Well, anyway, thank you for coming to the video. That's all I need to say. We'll do a comparison. So this is obviously just the cornbread. Nice. It's soft. It's moist. What is wrong with the word moist? Please.
Gross. The word moist. Use a different word.
Please tell me what other word I can use. Because I don't know. How do you describe a nice cake? It's a moist cake, right? You don't say a wet cake or a damp cake. Here's the toasted one real quick. Oh my God. That is dummy thick. This is alone with a cup of coffee in the morning.
Now, the other thing that you can do is when it's older and a little bit drier, you can sort of cut it into cubes, toss it with a little bit of olive oil, and then place it in an oven that's around 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius for anywhere between 15 to 30 minutes. I know that's kind of like a wide timeline, but just keep an eye on them until they're dry and crisp like this. And what would you call that? Those are cornbread croutons. Ya heard? Crispy little cornbread pieces. You can also turn this into stuffing or even bread pudding. How can you go wrong with that? But do you want to know what else you can't go wrong with? B-roll.
And that that is it. So we made cornbread. What else do I say about that? Maybe I should make this more into an infomercial. Well, hey there kids, welcome to Billy Bob's Cornbread Cornhole House. We're here to serve you cornbread and cornbread only. Monday through Sunday, every day. That took so much out of my essence. I'm never gonna live that one down, am I? We're gonna talk about my new website. So let's take a quick look at it. We all know that I went with Squarespace because they have a powerful online platform that makes building a beautiful website super easy. You know, with their blogging tools, for example, I was able to categorize and build out all my recipes the way I wanted them. And a lot of you guys that watch me are on your phone, so thankfully their website already has mobile integration, and you can just watch regardless of the device you're on. And the website's gonna go live soon, so you know, hey. But if that doesn't get your stone wet, it's a stupid joke. Then go to squarespace.com/BRoll to get 10% off your first purchase of a domain or website and a free trial. So hey, that's from me and Squarespace to you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. There's all sorts of stuff. You wanna see the equipment I use? Who just texted me? You wanna see the equipment Stop. You wanna see the equipment I use? Then it's gonna be on there too. If there's anything that you wanna see in particular on the website, you let me know, leave a comment below. But with all that said, if you enjoyed this video or you learned something, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you next time.